Game, I'm out the pocket, but I rock with the game.
Today, from Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin, it's Week 10 of the NFL on EA Sports. We'll see Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers taking on Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks.
And we come to you from one of the truly iconic stadiums in the NFL as you get a look at Lambeau Field here in Green Bay, Wisconsin. We all know this community lives for its Packers, and the green and gold came out of the tunnel a short time ago, and it was loud. We are ready for football, so are they, as the Packers get set to match up with the Seattle Seahawks. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't... You can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. We get our first look now at Aaron Rodgers in his 17th season now with the Green Bay Packers, and of course coming off a great 2020 where he took home the MVP trophy.
And if you go by the numbers, he's had a Pro Bowl type season, and maybe that's even selling him a little bit short. He's the NFL leader in touchdown passes to this point in the year, and with the end of the season not too far away, he's got his guys playing at a very high level.
Play action. Now it's Rodgers. And his first look is incomplete.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. Now Rodgers. And he fires one, but incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
Call that a punt of 38 yards officially, and it'll be Seahawk football 1st and 10. Seattle's offense ready to go here for the first time, and leading them is the 7-time Pro Bowler in his 10th year now in the NFL, Russell Wilson.
And you've got to think that they've got to be feeling pretty fresh. You know, coming off of the open week, didn't have to play, right? Gives them a chance to rest up a little bit, heal some of those aches and pains, and excited about playing again. That really rekindles things a little bit. I want to see how they come out and establish themselves here early.
And that bye week coming right where they want it, in the middle of the schedule. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll try the left side. It's Alexander. He'll get 3 up to midfield. Well, this defense for the Packers, they were terrific last week in the victory over Kansas City.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and trying to attack them this week, because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, what do you do now when you go into a game? Do you decide you can't throw the ball? Do you try and run it more? Or do you tell your quarterback?
Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick, and a big return will get him all the way down to the 35. So, CD, his very first pass of the afternoon intercepted.
And I know that's a major surprise for any quarterback because, look, let's face it, no one thinks about throwing interceptions. But think about all the warm-up that we saw, right? Every pass he threw wasn't a single interception because, oh, that's right, there were no defenders out there. A little bit different when there's live guys out there chasing the football.
So after the INT, it's Rodgers sliding out of the pocket. Space to run past the 20. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And good downhill running. He's got 6 yards down to the 13.
That was a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side. That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and put the down marker back to 1.
Jones hit, and the ball's out. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Partner, you know how often we hear about the red zone, right? From the 20-yard line going in, that scoring zone, getting points on the board. A lot of teams call from the 10-yard line in the green zone. That's your money zone. He fumbles the ball inside the money zone. You have one job, take care of the ball. That didn't happen.
It's a jet sweep. Wilson with a little pop pass. And he will take this up to about the 8-yard line. Second and 9. Now Wilson. And he's going to be taken down. Sacked back at the 2. That'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up 3rd.
I think most quarterbacks would love to have the goal line actually extend up into the air and turn into a wall. And they can put their back against it and know exactly where they are on the field so they don't end up in the end zone. Didn't do it on that play, but perilously close to the goal line.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
And indeed, that's what they'll do as they run it here. And he's going to lose yardage back to his own 1-yard line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping it for a loss.
Now here's Michael Dixon. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. And he's able to get it out of there. With it is Brown. Found good room to run there. Returns it 14 yards. And the Packers will have a short field to work with here as they take over 1st and 10. The Green Bay offense ready to take over. They are, for the moment, the best team in football, 9-0 entering play here. And, Charles, I don't know if we'd call them a surprise 9-0, but the way that they have been winning definitely opened up a lot of eyes around the NFL.
Well, what we've seen from them so far this season, you can't stop them up.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off near the 32. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. And that's a ball that he is going to want to keep, his first career interception in the National Football League.
And I love what teams do when that happens. You bring the ball to the sideline, the equipment guy grabs it, he puts a piece of tape on it, writes on it so that you know what it is, and then they tuck it away so that you can have it for later and put it on your mantle. Pretty good deal for him right there. Now he's eager to get back out on the field and get his second one.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45.
Nice little nifty play for him there. Yeah, that's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backside of the backfield. Because I know that when I...
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. They bring a man off the corner that time, and he gets home for a loss of 6. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
Second and 16. Another try after the first down sack. Wilson working the middle here. That's complete to Everett, the tight end. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. So for this defense, a tall order ahead trying to defend against Russell Wilson. Charles, your keys for how they might go about keeping him in check?
Well, before we even get to the keys, let's start with the problems he presents, because he feels pressure so well. He's got a great sixth sense, maybe even a seventh and eighth. He knows where the pressure's coming from. He knows how to slide away from it, sometimes run away from it, and then he finds good throwing lanes to deliver downfield. So to me, it's that pressure inside, big, tall guys to make him try and throw over them and make his height work against him.
So on is Jason Myers. He's hit from as long as 58 in his career. They spot it on the midfield stripe, so it is a 60-yard attempt here. He's got the leg, but it's no good. He missed it right, and this will remain a scoreless game.
His foot, but he kind of sliced it a little bit, and he winds up missing it wide right.
Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. And he'll begin the drive with a give to Jones. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. We're scoreless after 1. The pickup of 4. Here's 2nd and 6. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down. They'll try and run for it with Jones. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line.
Well, they're currently the best in the NFL in converting on 3rd down, so there's no surprise there that they picked that one up.
And they've done it in many different ways throughout the season, Charles. Picking it up, running it, throwing it, just effective on 3rd downs all year long. Now they'll throw with Rodgers. He gets this to Devontae Adams. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
Escaping the pressure right. Down and open, it's Adams. Touchdown, Green Bay. Devontae Adams. His 19th touchdown now on the season as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon.
He was able to move around and found some vision to throw the football. And how about how he ended it? Boy, he had some zip on that throw.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt to have an arm like that. Results in the touchdown here. Great play offensively. Crosby with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. A drive that time of 6 plays, and it ends with a Packers touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. from the 6. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. DK Metcalf for the Seattle offense about set to take over once again. Looking down at the stats here, realizing he has no catches. They've targeted him twice, but no catches. So how do they get him more involved, Charles?
You make sure he touches it on routes that he likes to run. Maybe even run a reverse or some type of a jet sweep so he gets his hands on the ball and get him active and involved in the game. You just try and find ways to get him going, and it doesn't have to be something that's big downfield.
Maybe kind of like in basketball, just a shooter seeing the ball go through, you get him a rep, get him more comfortable.
I agree with that totally. Maybe set that solid screen and give him an easy look.
Well, to this point, no catches. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2. They go play action now. Wilson. He finds his man complete. That's Alexander. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon. And it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover it before he gets going?
And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Wilson. And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
That's an excellent play by the defender. He diagnosed that one, closed quickly, and helped force the incompletion.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 10. From the gun, it's Wilson. Over the middle, that's caught by Metcalf. And the tackle going to be made at the 41 as they stop him a few yards short of the first. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. On the punt, 7-yard return, and it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. So here are the Packers now to take over. They are working on that very impressive 9-game win streak, looking to get it to 10 as they've got the lead here. 1st and 10. Throwing now is Rodgers. Flush to his right, and he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. Now we're going to get a timeout here as it looks like there's a Seahawk injured on the play. We'll check on his status when we get back. Ahead of the chains now, 2nd and 2. A give to Jones. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
Rodgers now on 1st down. This is caught by Antonio Brown. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion. 2nd and 2. Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers. He'll buy some time right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call. The hit comes late. We saw it. There's your flag.
And we know that there's a guideline, right? Ball's gone. You get 1 step. If you're within 1 step of the quarterback, you can hit him as long as it's still done legally. But anything outside of that, looks like an extra step was involved.
Throwing on 1st down is Rodgers. To the left side here for Eifert. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be second and very short.
All right, Charles, we've spoken about this offense plenty, how great they've been all year. 9-0 now, into the back half of the season. Super Bowl favorites, without a doubt. I think everyone agrees on that. What do you think is the thing that most stands between them and a perfect season?
I think it's themselves. I think it's their team, how they approach things, how they conduct themselves during the week, practicing, getting ready, and then going out and playing. Can't take your foot off the gas pedal at this stage. Doesn't matter if it's a weak team you're playing or not. Look, when I talk with one of the best golfers of all time, he told me he never played against the field. He just played against himself and his own standard.
41 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. So they will accept the penalty and move forward. After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. Now it's Rodgers. Flushed out right. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down.
Different pass rushes are designed for different things. Sometimes you want to keep the quarterback in the pocket. Sometimes you want him to flush. I don't know exactly how this one was designed, but they made sure they moved him to his right. He got out of the pocket. Unfortunately for him, he was hit as he tried to throw the ball, and that resulted in an incompletion.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Rodgers going to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they did incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the 1st down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Escaping the pressure right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. The kick by Crosby is good, and the lead moves to 10-zip. So that one on target, and it adds to this first half lead.
And maybe we're too early to worry too much about 1-score lead, 2-score lead, etc. But this is where you kind of start banking those points that come in helpful later on.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
Takes it at the 7. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18.
Here's Russell Wilson and the Seahawk offense now getting set to go again. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
A 1st and 10 here, and you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a 1-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost.
He's got his man. That's Everett, the tight end. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? He finds his man. Complete. That's Alexander. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. So on second down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. He's going to need a little mustard on this one. It will be a 51-yard attempt. And Myers able to knock it through, and that will do it for this first half. So we're at halftime here at Lambeau with the Packers taking the lead to the break as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you two in a minute, but first, let's take a spin around the NFL and see what's going on here in week number 10. We begin at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, Minnesota, with a rare visit to take on the LA Chargers. And a touchdown separating these two as they've gone to halftime. Adam Thielen, a touchdown catch in that first half. From there, let's head to the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, to check in on the Broncos. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Philadelphia Eagles. The Broncos seem to be on their way to what would be a good victory. Finally, let's get to the desert to check on the Cardinals at home in Glendale. And for the moment, they find themselves trailing the visiting Carolina Panthers. Cam Newton, 2 touchdown passes thus far. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a defensive struggle. Which offense can break through in the second half? To find out, let's hand it over to our broadcast team of Brandon Gotten and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. The Seahawks trailing, but they will have possession first here as we resume action in the third quarter. Fielded right around the 8. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. Bucs ready to go here to begin the third quarter. They do trail, but they have a chance to possess the football first to try and do something about it.
And that certainly makes it something of an important drive for them because is it going to win the game? No, but you have to do something to bring some life to your sideline.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Now it's Wilson.
That one taken in by Dwayne Eskridge.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. Dances by him. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Going to take a shot for Gallup. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted, thrown back across his body. Picked off inside the 10, and he's going to return it to the 21-yard line. The first half did not go their way, and that's not going to help matters at all. An interception here on the opening drive of the third quarter.
Obviously not what they were striving to accomplish, but you know who's really upset on their team? The defense. Already trailing, they're going to be counted on to try and hold that score, at least where it is.
And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
And you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
On second down, it's Green. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
Back to the ground, this time with Jones. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
51 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
Now a play fake. Rodgers got his man. It's Eifert. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. On second down, it's Jones. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37.
2nd and 1 and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
Well, these Packers and these Packer fans really thrive in the cold temperatures here at Lambeau. And their guys have the lead here with a 1st and 10.
And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
On first down, it's Jones. And down inside the 15 he goes.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive. Because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Still 9 remaining on second down.
Here's Rodgers. Rolling to his right. The ball comes out, and this will get out of bounds right at the line of scrimmage. So fortunately, they're able to hold on to the possession. Thankfully for the offense, a fortuitous bounce there on the fumble goes out of bounds because they're down here in the red zone. You don't want to lose one there.
You don't want to lose one, and the best part, because it went out of bounds, they retain possession, still have an opportunity.
Touchdown! It's complete. A great effort there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Packers add on to their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind. Because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. And we will get another look at Seattle's offense. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know what, a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
The interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. He'll be dropped shy of the 40 despite powering through the tackle. A gain of 3, second down. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Coming up on 2nd and 7.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Left side here taken in by Metcalf. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every third down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to third down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. From midfield now, here's Wilson going for the deep ball. And incomplete on the deep ball. The Seahawks on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Throwing again here, Wilson. This complete to Lockett. And they stop him up short of the first down as they get him at about the 43. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th. It's Wilson on 4th down. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off near the 29. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout, and we will. We've got an injured Packer on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
They have to like the position that they are in. 4th quarter, 2-score lead, and now the ball back after the INT. Meanwhile, Rodgers' throw taken in by Adams.
And finally out of bounds inside the 5 at the 4. A big play there on the catch and run.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
On play action, now Rodgers. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Jordan Brooks.
The blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8. I think you'd have to say defensively, these guys are doing their job pretty well, right?
Yeah, we talked about them holding them under 20 points, right, on defense. And they've done that. They've held them. The problem is their own offense hasn't answered their challenge, which was to score more.
Yeah, exactly. I remember you saying magic number was right around 20, and the offense has been the issue. You're right. And it's caught. A nice job to get 11 out of that pass play, but now they face a 3rd and goal.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Jones is in. Touchdown, Packers. So it was the passing game that got him down here, but closer to the goal line, it's the running game that gets him home.
Certainly appears that they lulled the defense into thinking that the passing game was going to be it the entire drive. Nice change up there going to the running game to get him over the goal line.
Extra point up and good by Crosby. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
Fields this way up at the 17. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape up past the 30.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
They were coming off the extra week of rest, but this team started sluggish, and it really didn't get any better from there. And trailing big here in this 4th quarter. And this is going to fall to the ground, incomplete. That very nearly their 4th pick of the game. Instead, 2nd down. Wilson's throw caught here by Metcalf.
9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. They're giving those short little routes, tackled him in bounds, too. They're just not wanting to get beat over the top.
Yeah, and if you can't really get downfield, take the short routes. But now you got to have guys who can actually break tackles and increase those gains.
That's complete to Disley, the tight end. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1. Wilson will throw again. A quick target here, complete to Metcalf. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score.
Meanwhile, Wilson's throw there caught by Gallup.
Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. Throwing again on 2nd down. Wilson, it's caught, block it. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 18. Finally, a first red zone opportunity for these guys. They have a 1st and 10 at the 8.
And this will be caught by Metcalf for a Seahawk touchdown. DK Metcalf, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter.
Jason Myers now for the extra point. And this is up and good. That'll make it a score now of 24-10. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And the Seahawks capping it off with a touchdown. And this one's going to be covered up by the Packers hands team. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. And it's complete to Adams. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds.
Well, how about this aggressive approach? Got the lead, 4th quarter, continuing to throw the football. Are you thinking about Super Bowl 51? Atlanta had the lead against New England, and they ended up giving it up?
I was going to say don't say it, but you did say it.
I did, didn't I?
Yeah, anybody watching in Atlanta, our apologies. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Rodgers looking to throw. He goes right back to Adams. That's complete. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll get it with just a shade under a minute to go in the game.
Second down and 3.
The give is to Jones. Room here to run. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. Now Jones. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37. Gain of 9. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the 4th. On 2nd down now, it's Jones. And this time not quite to the 30. He'll be down at the 31-yard line. And the offense moving quickly to the line. On play action, Rodgers. They'll roll him out right. This one complete to his fullback out of the backfield. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. Well, clear running situation, trying to take time off the clock. He ran the previous play, set that play action up nicely.
Boy, did they ever, because they had shown the ability to run the football. So now you lose your keys as a defense. You dive for the running play.
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Aaron Jones with his 13th touchdown of the year and second of the game. And the Packers add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week.
Well, business as usual for them. Well on their way to another victory. Riding a serious wave of momentum from what we've seen. And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower.
Crosby connects on the extra point, and the lead down to 3 touchdowns at 21. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
Fields this way up at the 17. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
He's going to let it fly. And this is dropped in incomplete. Well, there's a metaphor for how this one is gone. As time is run out on this ball game. So it's all over. A Green Bay victory. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
So you get the sense that whatever was said at halftime obviously hit home. I think it's a little bit more than that, though. Obviously, there are words that are said, and, hey, come on, guys, we have to play better. But sometimes it's just sharpening your execution, sharpening your focus, and maybe doing the things you practiced all week without major adjustments, just doing them better, and that got it done in this one.
So for the Packers, they keep on rolling 10-0 now to start the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Minnesota Vikings. Meanwhile, for Seattle, their season is on life support somewhat now at 3-6. And they'll be at home next week for a date with the Arizona Cardinals. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
day. From U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis, it's Week 11 of the NFL on EA Sports. It's the Minnesota Vikings taking on the Green Bay Packers.
Well, later tonight in November, snowfall is forecasted to hit the Twin Cities, but right now, calm outside, and of course, a calm day inside U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. The scene a short time ago, this crowd decked out in purple, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. We're ready for football, folks, as the Vikings get set to do battle with the Green Bay Packers. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
And he'll be brought down at the 28-yard line, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone gets him 3 more. Now we get a look at Aaron Rodgers as he gets set to lead this Green Bay Packer offense. Rodgers now in his 17th season in the league, and of course, coming off the MVP trophy.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there was also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down. The numbers on the ground for Jones last week, north of 100 yards, the 2 scores. And, you know, you got to give a lot of credit to the O-line. We talked a lot about him, but offensive line was good, too.
They're obviously in sync with each other, whether it's zone blocking, power running game, no matter what. He understands how to read them and find the creases that they provide.
They fake the give. Now Rodgers. Sliding out of the... And right away, he lost the football. And the Vikings pick up the football. And they're going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. So excellent starting position here for the Vikings. And they will be led out by their 6'4 quarterback.
And he ought to have a lot of pep in his step after last week's performance because he did exactly as you want him to play if you're a coach. 3 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions, which usually means you're making a lot of right decisions out there.
And got him the win. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And this one is incomplete.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Looking to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Moss. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard.
And CD, defensively, you're going against a hot quarterback coming off a 3-touchdown game of their victory a week ago. But what's the big key for them to try to slow him down?
You ask all the tough questions, don't you, partner? Because with this guy, if you blitz him, he takes advantage of that man coverage and burns you. But if you bring on those extra DBs, he sits back there and does what he wants. To me, it's going to be those DBs. When they catch the ball, big-time tackles, really put it on those receivers. And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
And he'll work his way closer to the goal line as he's got 5 down to the 3. There are the numbers for Cook from a week ago. 21 carries, 104 yards.
And well-liked by his teammates. In fact, I got on good authority, even though I'm not an investigative reporter, that in their team meeting this week, the offensive line stood up and said, "Coach."
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Vikings have taken a first-quarter lead. Kaimi Fairbairn on for the extra point. He's got it, and the Vikings take a 7-0 lead. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it's capped off by the touchdown run coming from Dalvin Cook. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
This taken in at the goal line. And he'll wind up getting a couple extra yards here for his trouble to bringing it out of the end zone as he's down at the 27. The Packers offense here coming back out for their second drive. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That could be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
Now, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
They'll run on first down. Jones. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down.
So, Charles, you talk about this offense, how well they've played. I mean, the defense, too, really. But they're sitting at 10-0 now on the year. 4-0, 5-0, that's nice. But once you start hitting double digits with these wins and no losses, I think the seriousness of the situation, it just has to ramp up.
Yeah, and when you do say 10-0, it can't scare you as a team. Just think about it this way. For most of the year, they've been playing to win their division and get to the playoffs. Now the playoffs are just about a foregone conclusion. So now they have to down-focus their thoughts about getting home field advantage and finishing unbeaten, and they need to make sure they keep it in that order.
And he is going to have a Packers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. And that last throw right there putting him already over 3,000 passing yards now for the campaign.
And given where we are in the season, Brandon, you have to think to yourself, if he stays healthy, I think 4,000's a given. I think 5,000 is not out of the question if he stays hot.
Now it looks like we'll get a timeout, and we will. We've got an injured Packer on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. On first down, it's Jones. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
This is Jones. They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14. Now keep in mind, if you're thinking of staying on the ground, this is a top 5 rush defense.
Yeah, but I don't think you shy away totally with the run. At least show them the hint of a run before you decide to throw the football.
He'll buy some time right. He's got a man. It's his fullback. And it's a Packers touchdown. It's the fullback. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Packers are within an extra point of tying this thing up. And he wasn't blocking or running it there. They tossed it to him.
And you remember the good old days when the 49ers were riding roughshod in the league? They used their fullback in pass plays all the time. Roger Craig, Tom Rathman, those guys were terrific at running these types of plays.
Crosby with the extra point.
And that will tie our score here in this opening quarter of play. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Pulls it in at the 13. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. And you see his numbers from a week ago. He was up over 100 yards then, and he's already hit pay dirt here once in this one.
We always talk about quarterbacks and receivers getting into rhythm, right? Really feeling good, finding each other downfield. I think running backs operate the same way. They can hit a good rhythm and a good stride, and he's carrying it over from last week.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this Green Bay defense making that play look a lot like the previous one. Both tackles behind the line of scrimmage. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit. I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
Second quarter now from Minnesota. It's the Vikings in possession of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. They'll look to throw here.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Now Cook running right. And some strong running. And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. They'll set up a throw.
Swinging this out wide here for Cook.
Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And that's going to make it 4th down. Colquitt on to kick as he sends it away.
Very nice punt that time, but they get 11 back on the return.
And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference. It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It'll be a loss of 2, maybe 3 on the play, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
In today's NFL, we're accustomed to the tight end getting downfield and creating plays and wreaking a little havoc in the secondary. Not on this one, though. They diagnosed that one really well.
Tried the dump off, lost yardage.
And he is going to have a Packers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
They brought in a heavy set on 3rd down, and that usually means running play, but we have seen them throw out of that formation. And sure enough, they snuck the tight end out on that one, wound up hitting him for a 1st down.
Flush to his right. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. On play action, it's Rodgers. To the left side here for Eifert. And some room to maneuver. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. A big play there on the catch and run.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Here's Jones. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Now Rodgers throwing on 2nd down. Flushed out right. Rodgers sliding to a stop with a 1st down.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Jones. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense the next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
And here's Jones again on 2nd down.
And he'll fight his way down right around the 12.
1:58 left to play till we hit halftime.
An 8-play drive to this point. So here's play number 9 on 3rd and 7. Play action. Now it's Rodgers. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And down inside the 10 here before he's out of bounds right around the 7. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. And Crosby puts it through, and they take the lead here now at 10-7. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line.
And now out comes Minnesota. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs. So they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them.
Get quickly to Thielen here.
1st down now, but that clock rolling. They're going to look to throw. That's to Cook out of the backfield. Holding on the big right tackle.
It's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
He'll look to throw. Open man. Once again, it's Thielen. Without the previous penalty, that would have been a 1st down. Instead, it's just a gain of 10. Back to throw again. That one caught by Carter. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. The Vikings going to signal for their first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this 1st half.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. He'll dump this off to Cook. Stopped short of the 25, but that second effort got him a couple extra. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Again, he'll drop to throw. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. They'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete. Green Bay up to the task there in coverage and forcing a 4th down.
Well, that play was certainly a little bit different because on the previous play he was sacked. This time, protection a lot better. Had time to survey the field and still couldn't find an open receiver.
And this is going to wind up left. Well struck, but it's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. And gearing up for another drive, Tyler Eifert trots back onto the field. And CD, assuming he stays healthy, assuming the health, should get to that 1,000-yard mark pretty easily.
And the best part of what he's done so far is allows him and the team to relax their pursuit a little bit. Meaning, if they just have normal games, they'll get to the 1,000-yard mark. They don't have to force anything. But one of the reasons he's having the year he's having is what I call route running arrogance. They think there's no one that can cover them. No matter how many people are put in his direction, it just doesn't matter. He's going to find a way to beat them. And so far this
I believe they buzzed down. They're going to take another look at this play with all reviews coming from the replay official here in the final 2 minutes of the half. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call. So that challenge, a successful one.
From midfield, here's Rodgers. Eluding the pressure right. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation. And the catch good. It's Eifert. And he will have a 1st down here at about the 40. Now the Packers going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. On 1st down, Rodgers escaping the pressure right. Now look out, Rodgers lost the football, but this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same.
CD, that's the 2nd time this half they put it on the carpet. Now, the first one they lost. Good news here, it doesn't cost them.
They do say that things even out in the course of a ball game, so you mentioned they lost the first one. This time, able to retain possession, but they can't get into this habit. The ball can't continue to go on the ground.
The kick by Crosby is good. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7.
So that, Charles, a season long right there.
And you know who's really excited about that? The special teams coordinator, because he's the one who has to tell the head coach in pregame, this is where we trust him from. This distance, he can hit it, and he repaid that trust by knocking that one right through.
So we've come to halftime here with the visiting Packers out on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Things starting to get interesting in this final weekend before Thanksgiving. So let's see what's going on around the NFL. We start with two teams who are only about 90 miles apart as the crow flies. Motown versus rock and roll. Detroit heading east and over Lake Erie to take on Cleveland. And it's the Lions who are out in front as they play the second quarter. 2 touchdown passes there for Jared Goff. From there, we head over to MetLife Stadium to check in on the Jets. And right now, they have the lead over the visiting Dolphins. The Jets looking to sew that one up, and they look to be in pretty good shape. Lastly, let's get to the Windy City. See what's happening with the Bears at home at Soldier Field. And at this point, they trail the visiting Baltimore Ravens. Lamar Jackson has thrown a touchdown pass. And our game has been Aaron Rodgers, who was on target in the first half. His guys lead on the road in Minneapolis as we send you back up to U.S. Bank Stadium in Brandon Gaudin.
The Vikings set to receive the second half kickoff, and they trail it here as we resume play. Taken from about the 12. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. And the Vikings set to go on offense to begin the third quarter. And they're on the short end of the scoreboard here. Charles, what adjustments, if any, do you think they need to make for the second half?
Well, paraphrasing the gold medal hockey winning coach Herb Brooks, I just say you continue to play your game. Throw the ball. They had success doing it in the first half, so make sure you keep getting the ball to your playmakers, a little bit more to the perimeter perhaps, but above all, play your game.
And he's got some space here, and able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. 45 yards rushing for him now, and he's only carried the ball 4 times. Thought they were going to have him down a lot earlier, but he was able to shed that tackle.
Shows the value of the weight room, doesn't it? Shows the value of the attitude when you run the football. Don't go down easily. Break a few tackles.
It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings have tied it. They can grab the lead with a PAT. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and that will put them on top here in the third. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Taken in at the 3. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Aaron Rodgers, he's getting ready to go again here on offense. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they'll be working from behind now following the touchdown a moment ago on the opening drive of the half.
I think the guys right now, as they go out on offense, they're zeroing in on one big key. They don't have to do anything differently just because they're down on the scoreboard now. The intent is still the same in what they plan to do on offense.
Second down, another shot for Jones. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
And he'll be stopped right at midfield.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside, and so many times defenses say, okay, we've got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Jones. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. Flush to his right. He hits Adams, complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20.
Now that's all about making something happen as a quarterback, because instead of forcing something on 3rd down, how about him buying some time outside of the pocket, waiting for someone to come open, and when he did, he put it on him for a big play and a 1st down.
On 1st down, Jones. And just a couple yards there down to the 17.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Flushed out right. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down. 8th play of the drive forthcoming, and they need 8 yards on 3rd down. Working from the gun, Rodgers. Man open left side is Brown. And he is out of bounds, getting it down to the 10. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
A short game that doesn't get him the 1st down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. Well, the offense failed earlier on the previous crack at this, but they're going again on 4th down. They'll run it with Jones. And he gets the 1st down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6.
There wasn't even thought of a short field goal. There was no hesitation. They were going for it.
I think he was thinking ahead a couple plays ago, that if he got in this situation, they were definitely going for it. And you're right. It was a confident call and a decisive run to pick it up.
He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal. 2nd and goal from inside the 5. To throw is Rodgers.
And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
Oh, that's got to frustrate him a little bit, because they nearly got to him there, and it would have been the first sack of the game. Instead, they're able to influence the release, and they did force the incomplete pass.
Rodgers now on 3rd and goal. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. So it's been a long drive. They've held the ball for quite a while. Now what do you do here?
Well, to me, at this stage, after this drive, this close to the goal line, 3 points would be a letdown. I'm going for it here.
And Crosby puts it through. And with that, the lead changes hands here in this 3rd quarter.
So a response there to the touchdown of the opening drive of this 3rd quarter as they're able to reclaim the lead.
And I think you'll take that, because obviously you'd like to be able to match them touchdown for touchdown, but the first order of business was to get the lead back, and they've done that. Now you want to give a good pep talk to your defense to take it from there.
Pulls it in at the 13. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20.
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And he'll take this one up to about the 23. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. He'll look to throw. Throw left side, complete to Moss.
Well, they obviously red man coverage their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender, made him
What do you mean by that?
He made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield. Then he curls back inside for the completion.
Culpepper's throw complete to his receiver, Thielen. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down. 3 quarters have come and gone. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Second and 6. He's going to loft one deep left side here. Got a man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there. With his second TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Vikings are going to retake the lead. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And the lead is up to 5. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it's polished off by a Viking score. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field. And they will be looking to answer the touchdown their defense just surrendered. Still a good chunk of time remaining here in the 4th quarter and a chance to regain the lead in a tight one. Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the Pack up 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And some room to work. And all the way down to the 29. 114 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
They'll run it with Jones. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. Not quite the success they had last play. This one goes for 3 yards.
2nd and 7.
Throwing is Rodgers, eluding the pressure right. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Now Rodgers. Got his man. It's Eifert. And he'll be stopped here well short of the 1st down at the 24-yard line. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
So with that field goal, this one's now back within a field goal. Maybe not the ultimate result they wanted, but gets them that much closer.
This game is unfolding like a really good book, isn't it? Because I feel like there's a few more plot twists yet to be revealed before this one is over.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. So here are the Vikings to take over. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
They read zone coverage there and thought there was some space to send their guy right into the middle on a slant, hoping he would get lost. Instead, they read it quite well and closed quickly.
On 2nd down, this is Madison. And he'll be stopped up at the line of scrimmage with a flag down. Let's check on the call. this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Draw play, Madison. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down. The Vikings on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. He'll drop to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back.
And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on second down. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Pitch and catch there, good for 13. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. And he's got the first down yardage there as he takes it just across midfield.
Brandon, unfortunately, I've been here before. They've had 2 opportunities to stop them, so this is demoralizing. They haven't gotten it done. Now you're calling all your blitzes, all your attack defenses, but you're not worried about playing your normal position. You're going to take chances now.
Well, you said it. 2 third down opportunities to get off the field. Couldn't do it, and the clock continues to roll. Here's Madison running on first down. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Another carry now for Madison. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. And quickly, we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively. 9th play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively, they burn it here with 1:51 left. Here's Britton Colquitt now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Fair catch called for and collected right at the 10-yard line. 37 yards on the punt with no return. And the Packer drive will start from deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. So Aaron Rodgers and his offense down by 2, 1:46 to go. Their long win streak in great peril as they come up 1st and 10. To throw is Rodgers, escaping the pressure right.
Pass complete, it's Adams.
And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. Flush to his right. It's caught here by Adams. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Now Rodgers, flushed out right. Caught on the right side by Adams. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. A big play that time through the air. 32 yards.
Already over 1,000 yards receiving this season. That catch is just going to add to his total. Certainly not resting on his laurels. He's trying to continue to gain as many yards as possible and continue this big season.
Back to throw, Rodgers. Eluding the pressure right. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
Once he got out of the pocket, you thought that maybe he'd take off with it, especially here in the 2-minute drill. Sometimes defenses are focused so much downfield that there's room to run, but this time he decided to throw it unsuccessfully.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. Again, it's Jones. And he has the first down before he's tackled at the 5. And the question now, how do they want to work the clock here on 1st and goal? A field goal would give them the late lead. And that is Allen. Still down following the play. Appears to be shaken up. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Looking to run it in. Kuhn. He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the 4th.
Wow. 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 I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but now you got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
Extra point up and good by Crosby, and the lead is up to 5. So that drive goes 8 plays, and the result, a Green Bay score. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
A fairly short kick from the 14. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
So now it's the Vikings' turn, trailing by 5. A little under 30 seconds remaining. They need a touchdown. A field goal is worthless now as they come up on 1st and 10. Back to throw. And this one complete to Smith.
And they'll get him down after a gain of 7, but they'll happily give him that.
Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game. He'll look to throw. And it's complete right back in the hands of Smith.
And he'll have a first down to the 45, but the tackle comes inbounds.
The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in the game. They'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is going to be intercepted.
Picked up by the rookie Eric Stokes. And the Packers have just about sewn up this football game. So this is something we didn't see at all from this offense in the victory last week. That's a turnover. They didn't have any, but giving the ball away here in the opening quarter.
I love the surprise in your voice because it's exactly what you stated. Didn't see it last week, but it's a key to their win. And it'll be a key to this game as well, protecting the football. Didn't get it done there.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they've got this one in hand. No timeouts remaining defensively, so this one should just be one kneel and then handshakes. And they're able to get this one across the 35. So it's all over. A Green Bay victory. And I tell you, these division games never for the faint of heart, but they come through with a tight victory here on the road.
And you find yourself working harder in a game like this too, don't you?
Yeah,
because you got to stay with it, right? You got to stay with it. You got to stay locked in. It's our type of a game. And you just mentioned it. Division game, on the road, tight, and they find a way to win it. Way to hunker down, as my old coach used to say, and find your way through.
So for Green Bay, the perfect season remains intact as they move to 11-0 on the year. And they'll return home next week to take on the L.A. Rams. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, they come back to the pack a bit as their record falls to 7-3. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Santa Clara to take on the 49ers. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.